Wow, what a surprise that we are here live. And I wouldn't have thought this, but it's something that's a little bit different for us to do. And people were saying, well, why are you going to do this? I understand when you go live, you sort of got to babble on for a little bit to see if anyone comes on. And let's face it, we've given the editor kid a bit of a job to get this so we can go live. And let's actually see if this actually works. So it will be interesting to see. He's got his thumbs up thinking it might be working, but I don't know. So some of you may be aware that we've done this sort of thing as a retail wrap on LinkedIn. And I believe it might be live on, I have a Twitch channel that no one follows, trust me, but it might be also on YouTube. And it'll be very interesting to see if it's on where it's meant to be. And that is LinkedIn. So I'm getting a bit of thumbs up that it is. Now, retail wrap. Now, the reason we started the retail wrap was so we could try and connect with our industry to talk about things in retailing. And as you may be aware, I'm from supermarket background in retailing. And let's face it, Coles, Woolies, Audi, they don't really come to the front of the page and talk about retailing. So we thought, you know what? Let's get into retailing and let's start to talk about it a bit. So, over the last 3 years, we've actually had the retail wrap and we stopped at episode 60. And some of you might be aware what happened with us in retail wraps with our 60 episodes there. And one of the problems that we had was for some reason, LinkedIn changed an algorithm. So we got told that the information coming out would be definitely need to be changed to be on the to perform better on the LinkedIn algorithm. So we tested that a little bit just to say the least. So we've gone from beautiful long format videos talking about anything in retailing, whether it's IT things, whether it's warehousing, logistics, delivery, transport, last mile, simple things like new products and new product development. Two, then we started to change things. We look like we got something crazy going on here. Then we started to change things, and we then figured out that LinkedIn wasn't actually performing. We weren't performing well on LinkedIn. We'd gone from 50,000 views to 100,000 views to 5,000 views. So we thought, okay, we'll write an article. Pretty boring, right? Well, we did. And the articles performed 10, 20, 50 times better than the retail wrap, which is nice video content. So LinkedIn appeared to be one of the only platforms not wanting video content. So they said to us in an email saying, oh, we're trying to work on more live content. So ta-da, we are working on live content. We are here and we are going to get a move on with it. So some of the format that we wanted to do, bit of having to listen to me, which I feel sorry for you sometimes, that my team definitely feels sorry for me, but it's more about trying to get content that people want to talk about and things that maybe people don't want to talk about. You might recall at the start of the pandemic, Drake sort of became famous for doing that because we said no to someone trying to return needs that were essential needs, i.e., toilet paper and sanitizer. And some of you might actually be able to remember that. Well, that's what pretty much started this motion of us being, let's just say, maybe a person to speak to about retailing in media. So therefore we started Retail Wrap. Now, I'll bring you to today. After 60 episodes of Retail Wrap, we stopped that. And the reason we did the Retail Wrap was so we could be a bit of a voice of things happening in retail. So we want to use this platform live, and we're going for a pretty basic shot today. It's pretty confusing, I must admit. I can see plenty of stuff going on in the background. Hi for all these people saying hi. Thank you very much for the support. But we also want to use this platform to be able to talk to industry leaders. So maybe Coles, Stephen Kane, you might want to have a chat with me about things you're doing in retailing. You might want to talk about other people that are in tech or other industries that have something to do with retailing or food. Let's face it, everyone loves food. So that's what we want to do. So it won't just be me talking. There'll be videos being played. We'll be doing interviews and whatnot. But we thought as live number one, we might just have to just make sure we can do this pretty basic format. But I'm getting thumbs up that it's actually working. So I'm pretty excited, a little bit nervous at the same time. So one of the questions we want to do, and if there's questions coming through, because I can actually see questions coming through, one of the things we actually want to get into, and we'll start off the bat. I've talked for 5 minutes, like I promised, to see if people will come on board. And one of the things we wanted to talk about is COVID. And we've all been involved, and everyone's obviously experienced it. For the last 2.5 years, we've been talking about COVID, and no one knows COVID better than people on the front line, people in supermarket industry, retailing, hospitality. No one knows better how hard it has been to deal with. And as an organization like ours, we employ team members around 5,500 people. We have 64 supermarkets and wholesaling division as well, plus some liquor stores and news agency to add to that as well. But it has been extremely difficult on every level in dealing with what has been COVID, whether it's been people in isolation or whether we've had an outbreak or whether we've had the actual COVID scare in store, which we have had all of the above and have had to deal with all of the above. I was thinking, I've just recently come back from a holiday that I went with my family, which is fantastic. And over there, I've started to see signs around all the place. I went to Darwin. And the signs are basically saying can't open up because of COVID. So when it made me look into it, all the restaurants were saying they were full, couldn't get a booking of 10 people. So all the restaurants were saying, hey, we're full here because of COVID. And I was like, it made me think this was more than just once, this is all time. So with the COVID, so it's funny. I can read the comments saying, "Be careful of the bloopers," because I can't cut them out. You're absolutely right. So I'm a little bit more careful here. But it going? Like how many times do we have to continue to use the word COVID? I mean, surely there's an endemic on the way, and I don't know about you, but I really want to get what everyone's opinion is on this because we're getting to a stage now, 2.5 years later. I think we've had 9 million cases in Australia, and over that 2.5 year period. And where is it going? At what point does it turn to the endemic? And when do we learn to live with the new norm? Now, is it just me that thinks that maybe some of this is excuses? And we've seen some of the damage in the airlines. And just recently, I'd noticed Jetstar seemed to be cancelling a bucket load of flights. That was just on my personal trip on the way home. And is that because all of the people that were in that industry have gone off and got other jobs? So they actually can't come back into the industry because they're out working, earning money, doing something else because no one was quite sure when it's going to come back. Or is it just for you're talking about, as we're talking about with people in restaurants, that we've got perfectly good restaurants with great menus, so the food is great, but the service is just not there? Or is it just me that's imagining this? Or will service be king again one day? Now, we can talk about plenty of things. We can talk about exactly how it is for getting transport, delivery, logistic issues. All of these things have definitely come to the forefront. And we have all learned to live with this. And as a supermarket operator, we have gone from having perfectly looking stores to maybe not so perfect. And if I can't find that tomato sauce, I've got 19 other tomato sauces to choose from. And I think the consumer has understood and has definitely been very understanding through this period. But when does that stop? That's my question. When does that actually stop? Whether that's no longer acceptable? And what's everyone think about that? And I can see a million questions coming through there. So I reckon, can someone pick some questions for me so we can start to show what it is so people actually see real questions? All right. So, JP, the question I'd like to ask is, how are Drake's leveraging technology to address staff shortages in stores? Now, this is an interesting one for us because what I'm trying to say here is that the technology for us, I mean, it's really, I can say that we are seeing staff shortages on certain positions, but we're not actually seeing that flow through the stores. Yes, it is hard to get good team members. Now, I can tell you that for sure. And there's no doubt in my mind that everyone I speak to is saying the same things. Like, why is it so hard? Well, clearly it's hard because we've got no immigration going on. So that clearly needs to change. We really need to get immigration rocking and rolling in this country. As you know, we're a big island and we need to do that. So technology, okay. So we're not ones to roll out self-scanning checkouts or anything like that. And for us, it's pretty basic. Like if someone's got a shift, we make sure that shift's full. So we're not technically using technology to the nth degree to make sure people are coming in. And I want, for me, one of my goals is to bring sexy back to retailing because unfortunately for us in the past, it's said that it's been said that it wasn't a very sexy industry. But now let's face it, we are a great industry and you can do anything that goes into retailing. You can go anywhere. We now do logistics, IT, HR, communications, digital. We are a massive organization through that. So I'm quite happy to say that we're not using technology in regards to watching what everyone's doing. We're really just using the technology so everyone can communicate with each other. Hopefully that answers your questions. Answers your questions. Answers your question. All right, let's go. Hey JP, the My Drakes app is great. Are there any more plans to add more features? Okay, so anyone that knows Drakes, we've just rolled out our My Drakes app, which luckily for us or unlucky for us, we came up with during COVID. Basically, that app is getting your receipts to your phone, so they're all digital now. We'll be entering you into competitions. You get a chance to win at the register. So we did a survey with our customers and we asked them what they wanted, and it came back with a huge decision. I was going to say around like 80% support to have no like points system. They wanted instant gratification. So with that in mind, you can get to the register, you scan your app, and then it spins around. And you got a chance to win 50 cents, $2, $50, $100, get a free shop, all at the point of register, and it's all random. So that was one of the key things brought into it. The main other function was a community dollars program. So in the background, you can choose any community dollars partner that you want. And that can be anything from soccer clubs to we got knitting clubs, pet clubs, like we've got the whole works there. So when you've got those in there, you then for every $2 you spend, I think 1 cent goes to that charity, and then we pay that charity at the end of the quarter. That is what is beneficial to us for making sure that you support us and we support you. That's a much better system. And that's why we've driven that all into the current My Drakes app. Obviously, this is no good for you guys and girls in Darwin. Yeah, definitely Darwin. Perth. We're only in Queensland and South Australia at the moment. But features to come. We want automatic entry into all competitions. So that will be so once you go through, you get the right program, right pricing, right products. It puts you automatic into that. But one of the big features that we're working on, we believe this is what everyone really wants, is the My Drakes pricing. So we're going to have My Drakes pricing for the people that are My Drakes people only, and they will get special pricing on top of that. So these are functions we know that our competition is not using, and no doubt they're all watching live today. So you never know. But for us, it's all about giving back to our customers, and that's why we've gone with the My Drakes app. So we're pretty excited about that. So, tell me if you're a Woolworths or a Coles shop. Oh, that's my that's. Oh yeah, tell me if you're a Woolworths or Coles shopper, and if you've ever actually redeemed your flyby points that you've got. I'll be very curious to see that because in the focus groups that we did, 80% of people said yes, they are flybys or rewards, but they've never used their points. So that's why we went with the instant gratification. Okay. All right. It's cool. All right. So, are there any other plans to expand interstate? Now, that's a great question there. I would have originally said no, but now that we seem to have established ourselves in South Australia and Queensland, the strategy for the business is get big, get small, or get out. And I think we're a little bit too big to be small anymore, and we're always in continued growth. So it has been continued growth for as long as I can remember. I'm up to 30 years in the business this year. I know I don't look that old, but I'm definitely coming up. We're definitely looking at those two states. We've chosen to keep in those two states with a bit of an agreement with the other retailers, but you never know. We would love to be in Darwin. We'd love to be in Perth, and I think there are two other places we'd like to be, but it's very expensive to get groceries to Darwin, as anyone up there definitely knows. All right, that's cool. Hey JP, off the back of Melanie's question, what do the expansion plans look like in the next couple of years? Would be great to see you in regional Queensland. I mean, hang on here, we're in Mundubra, like Mundubra, the citrus capital of the world. Oh, you can't. Can you get much more regional than that? I'm not sure, but we just opened a store in Mundubra. Got exciting news about another store in northern Queensland, and I can't say at the moment, but that's in the process. So hopefully, or that'll be definitely by the end of this month. And just so you can understand about growth, we opened a new store on Monday. We took over Yankalilla Foodland, And we opened this new store on Monday, and we opened a store today at Gawler East. So that's two stores in 3 days. So we are definitely looking to grow. We've got a number in the back of our minds, at least 5 stores per year. But that's what we've always come with, that number. But sometimes it's more and sometimes it's less. But the reality is, we definitely want to continue and expand across the country. That would be fantastic. Um, okay, okay. Hi, John. Supply chain issues. How severe is the buying power competition between the main suppliers? Well, I mean, as everyone's aware, I'm surprised there's no inflation questions yet, but we are seeing extremely high inflation across the country. We probably will see 10%, no doubt. We have predominantly, I would say, almost every single supplier has sent through price rises, and we're trying to hold down as long as possible. We know our stapled lines are held down, so we are trying our best to hold prices down. And it's quite obviously we don't have the buying power as Coles and Woolworths, our competition, but I believe we bat well and truly above our weight for what we're producing. And as a supplier, they want to see something for their, they want to see some money, they want to see something for their money they're giving you. And I think we have that in compliance, and I think Drake's clearly stands out compared to any other retailer with their compliance. So we are definitely making Intrax, doing the best we can. It's kind of, is it like a David versus Goliath sort of fight here, where you got the little guy and the absolute duopoly, and I'll throw Audi into that. Endless amounts of money. Yeah, that's what we've been up against our whole retailing careers. So I don't see that stop unless Coles and Woolies want to just give us half their market share, which will never happen. Okay, so we have got, what are you looking to see more or less of from your supplier base? Okay. Well, I'm clearly seeing something kind of, and this is, we brought it up at our recent Drake's conference about being more collaborative with our supplier partners and making sure we're working on the same plan. So what do we want to see? We do want to see a collaborative effort moving forward, and we are actually seeing that now. And any of the suppliers that are on here, which I can't keep up. There's a lot there. I don't know how many's on it, but I actually can't keep up with how many's actually on there. But they would know that the ones that are coming to us with a combined plan, a joint plan, they're the ones that are going to win moving forward, because we want to make sure we work together with our suppliers, and we're proving that by what we're doing. We're not the best by any means, and we've got a long way to go and a lot to learn. I mean, we're recently now wholesaling as well. So, well, there is a lot to learn that. But for us, it's about being collaborative, moving forward, and making sure we can try and get win win win. And that hasn't been there in the past, but we definitely want to make sure that is moving forward to the future. Um, Melanie, so it's Joey, is it? AJP, how did you win the hey Joe, how did you win LinkedIn Influencer of the Year? Was that the top voice? Is that what that, or that's influencer? I don't know. Well, I believe it was because of the content we were putting out. We were being a little bit edgy with the content, and in retailing, no one was coming up and stepping up to the plate to really talk about some of the serious things that are going on with retailing. And we do play with some other big players out there, and fortunately for Australia, you've got some of the best retailers in the world are here in Australia, and we started to put out content so people could listen, and we could talk about things that maybe weren't making it in mainstream. And with that in mind, we started to get a bit of a crew together. There was one of us, then two of us, and then three of us with the editor to make the pieces nicer. And then all of a sudden, the articles that we were doing with Retail Wrap were starting to get watched, and then the articles that we've been writing are quite thought provoking, and people started to comment. And I believe LinkedIn must have looked at that and just thought we're awesome. So they said, "Hey, LinkedIn influencer, it's pretty cool." Like I don't know how you get it. I don't know how they make it up. I think they give it to people that they feel are having an influence in whatever sector you're in. We were a top voice 2019 before that, and I was blown away with that. The team and I were so excited with that. And then the influencer Yeah, that was pretty cool. So I think that's pretty special. And I think it comes down to being transparent, open, honest, and authentic with the things we're saying. And what you see is what you get. And that's pretty much why people want to listen to what we're saying. So that's why, Joey. Okay. Would Drake's ever consider creating something like the automated Amazon store that automatically bills you as you choose to? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be wild. But the reality is that the cost of that, until I see that, I haven't actually seen the cost of that. And the reason you're not seeing that everywhere, I believe Woolworths is trialing a bit of it in some of their smaller metro stores. We are a long way from that. I would never say never, but it's a bit to go for us to have a look at. So I like tech. I like technology. I love the use of it, and I think will it head that way one way? Not that I can see in the next 5 years, but maybe in the next 10 years. I think it's something that you'll need to be on that sort of you'll need that sort of platform there to be able to be competitive. But I don't think it is for everywhere. Like I got some stores in certain areas that I don't think I'd want you to just to walk in and walk out of. I think a lot might walk out. So I'm just being realistic here. That might be great in Double Bay, but it wouldn't be great in some other undesirable places. Not that there's any of those in Adelaide. All right. We are cruising here. So is your buying team receptive in innovations? Now, that's a great question. And for us as a business, we sort of split up our marketing department and our buying. And that's one of the things we need to learn to do better is to combine those together for some better insights. And I just don't think we're at that stage yet. Are they receptive for innovations? Yes, if they are, but if they're not, just speak to me directly and I can have a chat, because if we need to maybe be more positive and or be more innovative, then that's what we need to do. I mean, we can't just do what we've always done because we'll always get what we've always got. We need to make sure we're innovative, and we need to make sure that we're progressive. And that's what we want to do. Hence why we're doing things like this. You get to ask questions like technically live, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. So I hope that answers your question there. We actually got a heap of questions, don't we? Yeah. Okay. I can't see that. Sorry. Do you have an inclusive program through your recruitment process? Inclusive program. Like what's that mean? Like as in right person for the job. Okay. So at Drake's, and it's definitely no secret, the majority of the jobs that I can comfortably say have come from positions within the business. And before we've gone externally, I would say 90% of the time, gone internally to see if there's someone there that wants to do it. Um, it's about right person for the job. I get it. Oh, what about your gender balance and whatnot? I don't really care if you're black, white, yellow, white, green, or whatever, male or female, or whatever. These days, you just got to be the best person for the job. And as a business, we need to make sure we keep making sure we put the best person for the position in the job. So we do look with it from within, and we have plenty of people that have come up through the ranks working on the shop floor, that have gone to get HR degrees, that have gone to get their CPAs, that have gone into doing analytics and everything like that. We've had them come through the shop floor, and we will continue to do that moving forward. And so we're flying. Like that's been 25 minutes. This is unreal. So sorry, a bit excited, everyone. It's okay, Costa. Here we go. Is that Costa? No, yeah, that is. Hey JP, what do you believe the biggest opportunity is for supermarkets or retailing in general when it comes to customer experience? Whoa. Right. So there's no doubt with online and retailing bricks and mortar, there's definitely got to be something where a customer wants to come into the store. Like, why do they come into the store? And we just opened up Gawler East today. When you go into that store, it looks red hot. Like, it's amazing. Like, we've put we need to still make money too. So we can't have, a 20% wage bill. We need to be realistic with the grab and go features, the soups, the pastas, the salads that you can now grab, the slicing machines. We've got a whole range, a suite of products that we put into different stores to trial how they go. We need to make sure that every time a customer comes into that store, they come in because they coming in for the experience, because it's too easy for someone to order online. I wouldn't mind any comments on online if how many people here actually order supermarket groceries online. So we need to make sure we are making the difference coming in. And that means building great stores, adding lots of innovation in the supermarket. So you want to come in to see what I get, which you can't get online. You can't get fresh popcorn smelling online. Well, not yet anyway. You can't get, like, we've got a gelato bar in one of our stores that now does ice cream in a lot of our other stores. Like, we've got the little kitchens, the Nonna's pasta bars where you get fresh pasta made and cooked for you. So if you don't want it cooked, you can actually take it home and then cook it yourself. So all of these innovations are things that we'll trial in a big store, and then we'll figure out if we're going to make those, see if we're going to put those into the stores. So that to me is the way forward. I think online will continue to take a bit. Other countries around the world, the online number is so much higher. It's Australia for groceries online, 5% might go to 10% in the next few years. It's still a long way behind the rest of the world. Now, I believe that's because we live in Australia. Like, this is the best place on the planet, and we actually can drive our cars. We can go to strip malls that are easy to get to in the scheme of things when you're comparing us to anywhere in Asia or the states or whatever. So we can do that, and I think we will continue to do that in Australia. You could say we're a slow adopter, but in this race, I think it's because we still see the innovation of what's going on in supermarkets, and our innovation is making sure when someone comes in a store, they're getting something that they definitely can't. They're definitely getting something that they can't get online. And let's face it, I'm one of the few people that actually like shopping in a store. I love the experience, but I like that with everything. But in saying that, I guess I do buy things online, so I can understand it's a bit of it's a bit of a bit of a question that is making sure the difference is making sure it's something special, something different, something that they can't get online, and that'll be the battle forever moving forward. And what is that? It? We got more questions though. What is that? Half an hour? Okay. Whoa. Whoa. There you go. Okay. Whoa. We didn't even talk about the customer service segment that I've got. So, all right. Well, all right. That's. I'm almost disappointed. That's like so quickly gone. So if everyone, I don't know, it'd be cool to leave your comments here because we definitely want to start to talk about other issues moving forward. Don't be afraid to hit us up with questions or with subjects that you think that you need to be talked to. And then in time, we will have not just me talking. I'm happy to interview people that are anywhere in the world. So just keep that in mind. That's the aim of what we want to do in the show. And for those questions that I've missed, I'll get back as much as I can to answer you. But yeah, that's our first ever at the desk with JP. I really do appreciate everyone supporting us, and that makes the team excited, just like me. So thank you very much.